What's up everybody, Vegas Dave, and I'm gonna share a very motivating and inspirational story with you. I'm at my parents' house that I lived in for over a decade. Yes, this house right here is where I lived with my mom and dad so I could be financially free. What people don't understand is the sacrifices, the extreme sacrifices I went through to get me where I'm at right now in life. Right here is where I used to watch my games for a decade plus. A decade plus I watched games from here. One TV, that's it. And I used to watch my games with my mom and dad because we watch all the games together on a couch right against this wall. I sacrificed living in this small little area, worked at a small little area because I had a vision. And it was a vision I executed 10 years later. As I said earlier, today's message is about sacrifice and some motivation for you as well. Not only did I sacrifice living in this small house, but I sacrificed my lifestyle. Years and years ago, I'd go out all the time, spend money in the clubs, be the man. I was a millionaire 12 times by the age of 30, and I lost it all 12 times. You have to understand in life, it's not how much money you make, it's what you save and how you invest that money. You have to invest wisely. So 3 years ago, I decided to change my life. And if you've been following my success, you see the Vegas Dave brand explode in the last 36 to 48 months. So I traded cocktail waitresses, which were my favorite before, and bottle service, and late nights of partying for yoga, meditation, personal development, and family. Trust me, it was hard having beautiful girls and friends call me to go out and party every single night. But I ended up going to bed at 11 o'clock every night, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to start my grind. I'd be waking up when they would be coming home. Look at me now, and those same people that were partying are still doing the same things they were doing 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Now I'm gonna show you something funny. My old office, this is where the magic went down. This is where I made my first million. And look how small this office is. Check it out. And this right here, in this small room, is where I made millions. So this office is very special to me, even though it's so small. But this is where I poured hours and hours, over 10,000 hours worth of work in this small office right here. This is where all the creativity went down. This is where all the vision went down. You don't need a crazy fancy office to come up with ideas. This is where the GOAT came up. This is where the whale play came up. Plan B smoothies for the girls back in the day, the swipe up, the click the link in the bio, I'm the greatest, how do I do it, I'm the GOAT. All that content, all that marketing, all that vision came from this small office. Guys, it's not the fancy things that sells, it's how great your product is. It doesn't matter if you're the best salesman, the best marketer, the best brander, or you're the hardest worker. It's who delivers the best results is gonna make the money at the end of the day. Remember, I'm in a results-driven business. If I don't produce winners, people don't buy my picks. I made millions of dollars from this small office, just like I continue to make millions of dollars from my new office as well. While I worked from the small office, I took a lot of heat and a lot of criticism. People would always say, if you're so rich, why do you live with your mommy and daddy? If you're so rich, why do you live in an 1,800 square foot home? It was so crazy that people and haters would actually Google this house, pull up the square footage and be like, I can't believe you live in an 1,800 square foot home. What a joke, what a fraud, what a scam. You're not a millionaire if you live in a small, it's so crazy that people would actually pull up the square footage of this house. The reason I was able to succeed is because I didn't give a f what other people think. I didn't care what other people thought of me. I didn't care what people said about me. If I would have paid attention and replied to everyone else and said, hey, I'm saving money, hey, I have a vision, that would have slowed down the process of my vision. See, listen, when you reply to haters, you lose speed. And when you lose speed, you lose execution. And when you lose execution, you lose money. In my game, it's all about speed, 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 speed. Whoever works the fastest, whoever executes the fastest wins the game. So instead of battling with the haters, I put my head down and focus on my money and focus on my vision. So while people talk shit about me, while people hated on me, I was already in the process of building this $4 million home. But instead of replying to them, I kept focusing on the vision and focusing and executing because I already knew that I would have the last laugh. So this is proof that success can come from humble beginnings. Remember, Steve Jobs built Apple in his garage. Jeff Bezos built Amazon from his garage as well. And Vegas Dave created a multi-million-dollar legacy and built an empire from his parents' office. Not until after I worked for 10 years plus. Then I went out and bought a $4 million home, and that's when I got a fancy office. If you've been watching my videos, my sports book is unreal. I built my own sports book in my house, and I also have an office which is bigger than most people's living rooms. But I only did this after I buried my head, grinded, and stacked my paper. And my next project that I'm working on is Villa Vegas Dave 2, which is another villa, which is next door to my current villa in Cabo, Villa Vegas Dave 1. Villa Vegas Dave 2 is gonna be 25,000 square feet with a 4,000 square foot swimming pool. Let me repeat that. A 4,000 square foot swimming pool, the biggest pool in Mexico. That's bigger than my haters' houses. All right, guys, there's some things I want you to take away from this video that I want you to implement in your life if you want to become successful. Number one, you don't need big and you don't need fancy to become successful. I worked for 10 years plus in my mom and dad's little 1,800 square foot home. I'm proof that big and fancy does not dictate your income. It's results that dictate your income. Also, I want to talk to you about the micro game versus the macro game. Get your micro game straight. If you don't know what the micro game is, well, my micro game is this. It's repetitive and I'm very structured. I wake up at 4 in the morning. I do my yoga. I do my meditation. I do my prayer. I eat healthy. I study my games. I watch the games from the night before. I do my marketing. I do my branding. I get on Instagram. I get on live. I go on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I go all platforms. I watch the games. Sell, market, brand, repeat, go to bed, say my prayer, wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So my micro game is always the same because if you do the micro game every day and you keep it consistent, the macro game will pay off. See, everyone doesn't understand that your life is not based off 1 or 2 years. That's short-term vision. Your life is based off 30, 40, 50, 80, 90 years. That's long-term vision. Have vision. Don't play for today, tomorrow. Play for decades and decades and decades, and that's how you leave a legacy.